All right, everybody, welcome. We're here with another episode with my friend Levy, Altintutar, and we're going to go through his journey as a businessman and just kind of learn a little bit more about him and his business. And again, this series is really for all of us watching to realize our journeys are our own, but we do share a lot of common things with each other, and we can learn from each other every single day. So, good morning, sir. How are you today?
Hi, Derek. Thanks for having me. Good morning.
Man, it's I really am enjoying this series of getting to learn a lot about people I've already known. You really learn how we all get to this journey is so different, but what makes us who we are is really interesting, and I really enjoy that. So, what have you done in life prior to the point of starting your business?
Great question, Derek. I started at a very young age. My father purchased a pizza store here in Canada for me. He was not very good in school, never really showed up for school. And my dad said, either you work or you go to school. So I decided to work with my brother. He already had an established business restaurant. I'm sorry, a pizza restaurant. And I started working with him, and I really loved engaging with customers. I was young, in my early teens, and I just watched my brother really deal with these customers, and I just listened and learned. And there was a lot of customers that he knew personally by name. They'd walk in the door, hey Tony, hey Mike, hey Steve, and I thought, wow, that's awesome that he can remember this. So I worked there for a couple of years with my brother, and I really enjoyed it. And I told my dad, I want my own business. So we took out a loan. He got me the business. I started at my own place in the early 80s. And the first day, I remember I was dealing with customers. I felt so proud as a store owner. And after about 4 or 5 hours, I was ready to go home. And my dad was sitting in the office. I said, okay, Dad, I'm out of here. He says, where are you going? I'm done. My shift's done. He goes, no. There's no shift done. This is your store now. You're opening and closing. I said, oh my God. So I said, okay, you know what? I'm going to do this. And I hired some staff, and I became very engaged with my customers, learning my customers, knowing how to speak to them. And being in my teens, Derek, I was still wild, but I was progressing into a person that someone can talk to, rely on, and connect at a different level. And I found that experience incredibly useful. So I really enjoyed being independent and having responsibility, because before that, Derek, I had zero responsibility. But I'll tell you a story about a gentleman that was our regular customer, and his name was John, and he was an alcoholic. He loved drinking, and he used to live right behind our restaurant. And he would come in Saturday nights. I didn't close till 3 a.m. And like clockwork, 2:30, he'd roll in drunk. I see the cab pull up, and he walk in. Hey, Levy, I want my usual. I say, hey, John, how are you? He goes, yeah, Big Mac, large fries, and a pop. And I said, John, we're at my store, Pizzaville. We're not at McDonald's. And he's, don't lie to me. I know where the hell I am. I said, John, have a seat. I'm going to make you a pizza, and I'm going to send you home with my driver to make sure you get home safe. And 2, 3 days later, he showed up with his head down with an envelope in his hand. I played dumb. And I said, hey, John, how are you? And he goes, hi, Levy. And I said, what's wrong? He says, I need to talk to you. I said, sure. He says, I know what you did. I said, John, what are you talking about? He says, you treated me with respect. You didn't kick me out of the store. You actually had your driver drive me home and help me get into my home, which no one's ever done. I said, John, it's my pleasure. And he says, this is for you. And he hands me a manila envelope. And I see IBM. And I said, oh, John, what's this? He goes, well, I work at IBM. I'm pretty high up in the company. I'm in charge of food. And so I would like to offer you a 2-year contract every Wednesday for 400 pizzas for the first 2 years, and then I'll extend it again. for a longer period of time. And I said, John, I didn't know. I said, thank you. I said, you didn't have to do that. He says, no, it was my pleasure. So thank you for treating me like a person, and it's much appreciated. So that saying, Derek, about, customer's always right. I never believed in that saying, but my saying is a customer is not always right, but they're still the customer. So we're not in the food industry. We're not in the Amazon industry. We're in the customer service industry. So I don't care what you sell in the world. If you don't have a great customer service, you're not going to succeed. You could have the best food in the world, you got the best product, but if your support or your customer service support is horrible, it's going to really affect your business.
Wow, and it's true. It's nice to hear stories like that where you're rewarded for doing the right thing, but it's not about the reward for doing the right thing. You'd have done it regardless.
And that's just being the person I am. I love giving back, Derek. I went to so many places where I just handed out free pizzas when I was running my own store. Just one, for exposure, absolutely, but just to interact with people and get their thoughts. I came up with different menu items for my pizza shop because of feedback from customers, and they love it. I wish you had barbecue sauce on these slices. Let me look at that, And so customers are everything. And the whole point of having great customer service is you want that customer to leave happy. We also want that customer to come back.
Yeah. And I think that's the hardest part about when you're strictly selling on Amazon is that you don't always have that direct access to a customer. And that's why I like the ability to make your business extend past Amazon into other realms where you do have at least communication via emails and stuff where you can verify that they got it, make sure they're happy, and allow them to give the feedback that you want. So
absolutely.
I know you kind of touched on this, but our second question is what life experience triggered your desire to be a business owner? So what's, if you remember a moment like working with your brother that made you want to ask your dad about being a business owner? What was it that just was like, I want to do this?
I believe it was a responsibility. I believe I needed responsibility. I was out of control, didn't care, playing football and working out with the guys and hanging out with the girls. And I said, I need to change my direction. And after watching and working with my brother, I gained so much experience, knowledge, skills. And I said to myself, I want to do this. I want to be an owner of a store. I want to be in charge. And it's not about being a boss. Anybody can be a boss, but can you be a leader? And I wanted to be a leader. I wanted to help. I wanted to teach. I wanted to see them grow. And I believe I had that knowledge experience to go out on my own and run my own business. And ever since I did that, I've been so happy that I made that decision to jump into this business with my family and grow as a person.
So you've gone over a lot of your experience in business. Is there any particular experiences maybe after your pizza shop that you want to talk about regarding your journey in becoming a business owner that you are today?
I did end up selling my restaurant after 13 years later. That's how long I had it for. And head office did not want me to sell. They loved me. They wanted me to stay. The sales were great. And then they offered me a position at head office, which I debated. I was pretty much tired of pizza, Derek. And so I took them up on the offer. I did end up working several more years for head office as a district manager. And that's tough, Derek, because now I'm getting feedback from actual franchisees of their struggles that I went through. So I knew how to help them. And again, no franchisee wants someone from head office at their store because now they're on pins and nails and they don't, everything is done properly because you're there. Their aprons are on, their hats are on, the uniform. And they're answering the phone properly, they're washing their hands. So they do it because I'm present. And so building a relationship with the franchisee is so important because that takes the negative thought of, oh no, another guy from head office. And when they see that you're actually there to help them, they appreciate that. So I really grew as a person after my restaurant in helping others.
Awesome. Now we've talked about a lot of business experiences. So now the next question is more outside of business. So what life experiences have you had that you feel are an asset to your business?
I believe being street smart, Derek. My dad used to say, "You're not street smart. You're Sesame Street smart." And I used to laugh at him when he used to say that. But believe it or not, having some street common sense, I would say, it really helped me deal with, because I could be put in a room with a bunch of jocks and hold a conversation, but also be put in a room with a bunch of politicians and keep that conversation going well. So being diverse in both business and, I guess, street smarts or school smarts, that really helped me as a person to be, dependable, reliable, and also be able to adapt.
Yeah, I think adapt is mostly underrated for a lot of people. And that's mainly because business is always changing, life is always changing, the world is always changing. And if you're not adapting, I mean, I hate to use the word that you're dying, but in reality, your business could be, because look at Blockbuster, for instance. I know they're kind of beat up on now, but they were a multi-million, if not billion-dollar business that now, I mean, there's one of them left, and it's that I'm aware of, and it's in Oregon. And they use it as an Airbnb, so you can stay in the store and watch whatever movies you want. I mean, that's the new business model for Blockbuster. So
yes, if you don't adapt with the changes in time, and it becomes really difficult. You need to grow and learn, and the more knowledge you gain, the more successful I believe you can be.
So we talked about assets, life experiences. What life experiences do you believe is a liability to your business?
I guess being too nice, is that a liability? I trust everybody 100% until they take it away from me. So I give everybody an A+, and whether they end up with an F is up to them. But I don't know if that's what you mean by liability. But
Yeah.
being big-hearted and caring was always my downfall, because I trust people too fast, and I give them the benefit of the doubt, and then things go south. But because of my experiences, Derek, I'm not going to change who I am, and that's being reliable, dependable, a father, and I believe that if you stick to your ethics and your the way you conduct yourself, that it could be a positive and a negative. You just have to deal with it in the moment.
Yeah, I think when we think liabilities, it's we think of like on a balance sheet almost, but in reality, I think like you said, sometimes giving people too much of the benefit of the doubt could cost you a lot in business, and it definitely could be considered that. But it also, I mean, I can see how it's an asset as well. So
Yes.
just stay true to yourself. Is what I always tell people when they ask me what I think. So
Absolutely.
I think for all of us, at some point, it may not have happened yet, but at some point, there's going to be a noticeable spark, is the word I like to use for your business. Is there like a moment or something that you feel ignited to either the beginning of your business or something during the process of your business that really was that spark that you can identify?
Well, when I started with Amazon and 9U, I felt overwhelmed. I felt that, it was almost a roller coaster of emotions, Derek. And what really sparked me was speaking with people that knew the business, that went through the business, such like yourself, I believe I've learned so much from you, Derek, and I thank you so much for taking the time to help me through my journey. But I believe it was actually something that you said about never giving up, always to push forward, and this is what it takes to run a business. And because I run a brick and mortar for many, many years, I was worried about online e-commerce business because I don't have whether it's the computer skills or the knowledge. And speaking with you and some of the things you mentioned to me, it really resonated. And I said to myself, wow, I could do this. And so, I owe it to guys like you and 9U family as well to help me push through that, to keep my confidence and keep my morale moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate that. I try to be as honest and as helpful as I can with people, but sometimes we get so caught on wanting to get advice from somebody who's going to tell you what you want to hear, that doesn't mean it's good advice. And so I think that anybody can do this. It's just whether you can persevere and push through the hard times, and not everybody can, or when it comes to it, you think you can, you give in. And that's what makes, I feel, our group something special, is that if you get to that point, there's someone there that can either pick you up, lift you up, or offer you advice, or at least direct someone else towards you, so that you're getting that help that you need. So
Yes, definitely, Derek. Again, I think I've said this before. There is no success without failure. There is no sunshine without rain. It's going to happen. It's how you deal with it. That's important.
exactly. What's one task or thing in business you absolutely hate to do?
You know what? I love everything I do, Derek. If there's one thing that I don't like, maybe hate is a harsh word, but to do the crunching the numbers. I'm not the greatest. Again, I'm a pen and paper type of guy. I'm old school. I write everything down. So, running the numbers and reading the graphs, it's a little overwhelming because I'm not the greatest at it, but I will conquer that as well.
Awesome. Yeah, I think the more as I do this series, between numbers and just accounting in general,
Correct.
is where most people either struggle or just can't stand to do.
It's funny because when I first opened my pizza business, I was paying people cash. I didn't want to worry about the taxes, and I said, "Listen, I'm giving you $10 an hour. Here you go. I'll see you in 40 hours," and that was it. And then all of a sudden, I had to take inventory, and then I had to see what my food waste was, and my all my different costs, and then I started writing it down. But e-commerce is a little bit different than brick and mortar. And so every day that you learn is a great day. I always say, learn, 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 so you can earn, earn, earn.
100%.
Yeah.
If you can go back to the first day of your entrepreneurial journey, what thing would you change that you would focus on right away?
Being more disciplined, Derek. I believe, like I said, because I started at a young age, my mindset was not there. And I wanted to cut out early. I wanted to go hang with my friends. I wasted a lot of time doing nothing. And I could have been learning. I could have been growing. I could have been teaching. I could have been mentoring. I could have been leading. And instead, I chose my friends. So if I could do it all over again, I would have focused and listened to the people that have been through it and learned from them.
What do you do to stay ahead of trends and of your competition?
Derek, every day I'm in my office for at least 2-3 hours, going through my competitors' reviews, going through their photos, their listings, their bullet points, and reading all the reviews, seeing what they purchased before mine product, or just the fact that I go on Google and see what's new and up and coming and how to stay ahead of the curve. And that really keeps me engaged with my product and how to be better in my space.
Awesome. What makes your business or products unique?
Well, we are a family-run business, Derek, and because this is my real first product that I really took the time to develop, and my materials are top of the line. I believe that this is really my baby, and so I made a lot of variations and differentiations to my product to make it better and to stand out. And I believe that with the quality of my product, I believe I will be successful in my category, and being competitive with the price of my product. I believe, Derek, having a premium product equals a premium price. But because there's so much competition out there, especially diving in right after you launch, you want to be competitive and you want to get those sales going. So rather than posting my product at a higher price and then slashing through the numbers for discounts, I just added a coupon at the beginning just to get things going, because there's so much there's so much competition out there, but that doesn't mean you can't make money. It takes time to build a business. No business is successful right off the hop. It takes hard work, it takes time, and if you believe in your product and you stick to the program, everything will work out.
What do you do to stay ahead of trends and of your competition?
Every day, Derek, I wake up and I jump in my office, I make some coffee, and the first things I do is I look at my competition and I see what they have, I see what they offer, I see the keywords that they're using, and that's how I stay on top. I take lots of notes. I'm still a pen and paper type of guy, even though I've got a Mac computer in front of me. I'm still taking notes. So I do go through the daily tasks of checking my competition, seeing their numbers, seeing if I'm in the right price point. I believe if you put your Amazon customer hat on, I believe the comfort zone of someone purchasing a product probably between $20 and $60, where they won't even hesitate to buy something. But when you're in the 80, 90, 100, it's like, well, maybe I have to speak to my spouse. Do I really need this? So questions arise. So I believe staying competitive with the big dogs in your market space is challenging, but I believe that as long as you stay competitive and you go after those small keywords at the beginning, and then eventually you'll be in the big pond with the big fish, and you'll be up there competing with them.
What makes your business and your products unique?
I didn't reinvent the wheel, Derek. There's plenty of competition out there, and there always will be for any product out there. I just made mine different. My bag is my product is a 7-in-1 diaper bag backpack. There is some few 3-in-1s, 5-in-1s. Mine is unique. I added four variations to it. I've got 4 different colors. But so my diaper bag opens up into a crib, and I've added some extra features. So what I added was a mosquito mesh. So when you're at the park, you're at the doctor's office, whatever, if you wanted some privacy, you can close a sunshade. You can apply a mosquito mesh when you're at the park, so no bugs or insects can affect your baby. And I've also added a toy bar that goes on top of the bag, attaches to the sides of the crib, and you can hang your toy there to keep your little one occupied. So I don't know. I don't believe anybody else has that on the market. So the quality that I'm using is a little bit more stronger material than the rest of them out there. Higher density. It's tear-proof, waterproof, RFID blocked. And I believe that's what makes me stand out from the rest.
And for everybody listening, this is exactly, as a business owner, what you need to know. I remember when I first started this journey and I thought I had my product picked out, and I was listening to Michael Vale, who was a previous episode, and he was talking about the exact dimensions, the inner dimensions, the outer dimensions, and he knew his product inside and out and what materials differentiate himself. And that's when you realize that if you don't know your stuff on your product, how are you going to differentiate yourself from others? How are you even going to know what the other people have? So get intimate with your product, know it inside and out, and that's going to lead to direct success. So
absolutely.
How do you prioritize tasks for your day, week, and month?
Well, business comes first. I usually, like I said, I wake up, I'm in the office. My wife wakes up a little bit later than me. I'm usually up at about 5:30 in the morning. I start working before everybody wakes up. And like I said, I go through my competition. I look at my page. I see what keywords I could change, add. And then I'm actually on the site. I say, okay, if my bag was here, why would they want to buy my bag compared to the ones to the left or to the right of me? And I keep thinking about how I can make my product better. So when I'm ready to reorder, I have all these different ideas for my next batch. So that keeps me quite busy. Now I'm into the marketing stage of my bag and promoting my bag and driving traffic to my site. So it's basically grabbing one audience from somewhere and taking your audience to your place. So you just got to move some people around. So that's what I do for the remaining of the day. I get in touch with people. I do make some phone calls. I do try to do, I'm getting in the process of, I'm getting a lot of social media ads going as well. And just even though we're in a lockdown here in Ontario, a semi-lockdown, I'm visiting brick and mortar stores that have baby products. I will drop off a couple samples for them, and I'll ask them if they have any demands. We can work something out. I just want to be part of what you have going on here. And word of mouth is huge. Word of mouth is something that you got to put in the work. If you want to be successful, you got to put in the work. And I'm in my office 6-8 hours a day, Derek, doing what I have to do to be successful.
How do you manage stress?
I don't. I'm stressed all the time. That's why I'm bald. I handle stress. My wife taught me, Derek. She told me, when you're stressed at work, walk away. Go make yourself a tea. Go make yourself a coffee. Go play with the dog. Go for a walk. Regroup and come back and crush it. And that's how I handle stress. Sometimes it works. Sometimes I got to count to 10. But God bless my wife. She gives me all the tools I need to be stress-free, and it's working. Not 100%, but it's working.
To what do you attribute your success?
My family, for sure. My family means the world to me. I do this for them, not for myself. I really don't. I want to make sure they're happy and they're comfortable. And it's sure, the money's fantastic, but what I'm trying to gain here is time, more time with my family. And that's what's important to me. You know, people say, oh, well, now, you know, you made some money, you can take a vacation of a lifetime. I don't want a vacation of a lifetime. I want a lifetime of vacations. So time for me is what I'm striving for, and to spend more quality time with my family and my friends.
Now, I know we're all in different stages of business, But with experience and with the plan or planning, how do you feel is an effective way to scale?
I believe just driving traffic to your sites. I do have a Shopify store. I'm get into Jane.com as well soon. But I believe mastering one thing first and getting really good at one thing instead of being okay at three, four different things is my mentality. So I really want to get Amazon down pat and really, really learn that business and get 100% focus on that instead of putting 25% here, 25% here. So that's my goal, is to concentrate on one thing and just getting my traffic, getting my audience, getting on the first page. Through campaigning, you'll get there. How do I stay on the first page? So that's another thing that you need to understand and deal with. So a long road ahead, Derek, still for me, but it's the journey. I love the journey.
What do you feel are your most valuable skills?
I believe listening to my customers, listening to my audience, reading reviews, taking note, replying to everybody that replies to me. I personally reply to everybody. I love reaching out to my customers and my clients, and I ask for feedback. What would you like different? And I believe that's what sets you apart from somebody else, is just the motivation to do better and be better.
What are your company goals, both short and long term?
Well, you know what, Derek, that's a great question. Thank you for asking that. What I would like to do is to scale my business 6 figures. And I hear a lot of people that want to sell when they get to that stage, and people that want to buy your business. I want to leave it for my family. I want to get it strong enough that it can be run on its own. And I'm trying to teach my wife this business, but because of her 9 to 5, it's been very difficult for her. So once I've mastered it, I can teach my family to continue my legacy. Not that I'm going anywhere, but that's my goal, is to have it running successfully.
Now, I know with COVID, it's been really difficult for any business, especially with the restrictions of being able to go out into the public and stuff. But I feel strongly that a lot of people like us have the desire to help people on more than one level, and a lot of that goes to like community service and stuff like that. Is there anything that you have goals with your company or plans with your company to do or have done to help your community in some way?
Absolutely. So right now, through email, we have a local Salvation Army here where I reside. And a lot of these abused women have homes that they go to that have children. So I plan on donating 100 bags to the Salvation Army, and then they would distribute to the women or families that are in need. So that's my first project. And then the second project, like I said, is for domestic violence abuse towards women, where they have nowhere to go and they have kids. They can have my bag, and at least they have some comfort. I know it doesn't change a lot, but giving back to the community, I believe spiritually, mentally, it puts you in a better place.
Definitely. All right, man, this is going fast. We're down to our last question. If you had one piece of advice for someone that is just starting out, what would it be?
Listen to your show. Yeah, no, got great information on your shows, Derek. And what I would tell to a newcomer is stick to the course, ask your questions, and, don't give up. Don't give up, because you're going to be happy. You're going to be sad. You're going to be overwhelmed. You're going to be excited. You're going to cry. But just stick to it and keep pushing through, and eventually you will become successful.
Well, that's awesome. And everybody listening, as business owners, we all learn that one thing we all share and take good prize into is the time that we have. And I want to especially thank Levy for taking the time out of his day to share with us. And as we're closing, is there anything? The floor is yours. Anything new and exciting coming up? Any promos? Any new announcements you want to have or talk about? The floor is yours. Anything you want.
Sure. Like I said, so my bag is available. Go to Wivit.com. That will take you to my Shopify store, or just type in Wivit 701 diaper bag backpacks. It should pop up. I'm in the process of my second product right now. I'm in talks with my supplier. Everything looks good. And hopefully by the summer, I will be live for my second product. Don't want to reveal it yet, but look out for it.
So follow him, guys. Find him on social media and look for the new announcement that hopefully will be coming shortly.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Awesome. All right, guys. Thanks for watching this episode. And remember, God loves you, so do I. And we'll see you guys next week.
Thank you very much, Derek. It's been a pleasure. Have a great day.